Hey there guys, how's it going? Tyler here with your Movie Fix, and today I have just a little bit of news coming from the world of Harry Potter. In case you didn't know, the last couple of days they've been doing Harry Potter Celebration down here in Orlando, Florida. And out of this we got a little featurette from the new movie Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Now it wasn't too much new footage, but it was a lot of behind the scenes stuff with Eddie Redmayne and a couple more from the cast. And we got to find out just a couple more details from the movie, and especially that there are going to be 4 central characters. So we find out we have Alison Sudol playing Queenie Goldstein and Catherine Watterson playing Tina Goldstein. These are apparently sisters. They're witches over here in North America, and that's what brings Newt Scamander over here. I'm guessing that he's going to be more friends with Tina Goldstein, as we see in the trailer. She asked him, I think she's the one that he came to visit over here. And what I found most interesting in this little featurette with the 4 characters is that we find out Don Fogler is playing a no-mage, which is like a muggle over here in North America, played Jacob Kowalski. And somehow he ends up in the mix of this, which could be a really interesting dynamic, I think, bringing in a non-magic user into the main cast with that, and who knows how they're really going to play this off. My idea is that either he gets involved with them in a way and he doesn't know that they're wizards and witches and that they're trying to hide it all along through the movie, or he does know about it, and that would add a whole new dynamic with having a muggle find out what's going on and having the Magical Congress. I believe that's what they're called in North America. It's not the Ministry of Magic, I think it's the Magical Congress, and that's why I think Colin Farrell is going to be playing one of the higher up administrative positions, or maybe like an officer, and I think he's going to be the one that's more of a pain in the ass all throughout the movie. And probably a big part of that is that they let a no-mage know that there are wizards out there. And it's really cool to see David Yates returning, and it's nice that J.K. Rowling is going to be working on this movie, that she's very hands-on with this, that this is her first screenplay. I'm very excited to see what she does with it. I'm so glad that she's continuing to return to the world of Harry Potter, or at least just the wizarding world, since there's no more Harry Potter. But it does seem like it's going to have a really good heart and a sense of adventure, and that's what I love about the Harry Potter movies, is the real adventure and the journey that all these characters go on. And I think that this is going to be something that can thrive because it doesn't have to have a villain. I don't think we're going to have a villain. Maybe the antagonist will be like Colin Farrell, and maybe the Congress of Magic is going to serve as the antagonist, but we won't have something like a Voldemort or a Dark Wizard. Maybe they'll be involved. Maybe we'll see some other kind of form of Death Eaters or something like that, but there's really no reason to get involved. The journey here is about finding the beasts and catching them and putting them back and, going through all this chaos in New York City. So that's what we want to see. But as far as like the struggle with an antagonist, I think they'll just be battling and dodging with the Congress of Magic, and it'll probably turn into a little bit of politics at the end, but I think it's going to be pulled off pretty well. Also at Harry Potter Celebration, J.K. Rowling dropped a little bit of more interesting news, which is something I've always wondered. I wouldn't say it was a plot hole, but it was a couple things that I wondered, and she did confirm that there are actually more wizarding schools than Hogwarts and Durmstrang and the other ones that we saw in the Goblet of Fire. And she said that there are 11 major schools that are concerned with magic, and there are a bunch of other ragtag ones all across the world, but they aren't regulated by like the ministries and stuff like that. And also there's actually a lot of wizards and witches that are homeschooled. It said the majority of them are actually homeschooled, which I found really cool. But yeah, there are actually 11 schools, and we got to talk about a couple of them. We found out there's one called Castelo Bruxo in Brazil, which I thought was pretty cool. It's hidden in the forest and it's disguised as some ruins. We also have Ouagadougou in Africa, which is actually considered the biggest one. It's like a really cool thing. It's like this really elaborate and beautiful school that's really big for the wizards to go see and look at. And also over in Africa, which I thought was cool, they've kind of been doing it so long that they've kind of got past the need for the use of wands, and they can actually just use their fingers to point and use their hands to cast spells, which was really interesting. And there's also a school in Japan that we found out called Mahutakaro in Iwo, which obviously I guess it was probably put there after the nuclear bombing, because they said that there were no muggles that inhabit the island. So that's my only guess, is that of course that doesn't really bug them. They can put up magical barriers, blah blah blah, but they have the school over there in Iwo, which was really interesting, and they allow students to start going to school there when they're 7 instead of 11, but they can't board until they're 11. It's just really cool to open up the world of Harry Potter. And then lastly, we find out about the school in North America called Ilvermorny, which they don't give any details on, which I'm sure they're probably going to go into a little bit in Fantastic Beasts. But considering that these characters in Fantastic Beasts are going to be older, these are adult wizards, we're not going to really need to see too much of Ilvermorny or anything with the North American wizarding schools. But that's fine. I just want to see what goes on with the Congress of Magic and the interactions that we have with Newt Scamander coming over, because he's a student, he's an alumni, I guess, from Hogwarts, and seeing him come over here and interacting with his friends, that's all going to be really cool. So that's it, guys. Comment down below. Let me know, what did you think of this new Fantastic Beasts news and the little bits with J.K. Rowling talking about these other schools in the world of Harry Potter. But alrighty, that's it for now. I will see you guys on the next video.